Happy Monday. Welcome back, family. Yes, we have the cover price top 10 reports that just came out, and Greg and I are going to analyze it. We have had a long day. It's been a Monday, man. It's definitely been a Monday. I finally got everything wrapped up. I'm on my way home. Blew a tire. Oh. Anyway, I want to get this list done, though.
Let's do it.
Yes, absolutely. I'm not saying I want to rush it. I'm saying this is been the one thing that I've been like, yes, we get to do it.
Nice.
Yes, I did see Across the Spider-Verse yesterday. I know that a lot of the books on here on this list are pertaining to it. I am going to try to be as spoiler-free as humanly possible.
Navigate through the waters.
Exactly. Now, I will say, though, as far as review of the movie, I give it an 8 out of 10. I know the internet is exploding. This is the greatest movie ever. But, I mean, look, they said Black Panther was the greatest movie ever. It was a great movie. It wasn't the greatest. I say that this movie is almost as good as the first one.
Awesome. All right. Well, that's still pretty good.
It's definitely worth seeing. Absolutely worth seeing. But don't go in thinking that this is going to blow the first one out of the water. First off, I think some of the scenes were kind of muddled, out of focus. The change in the artistry style sometimes gets a little bit distracting. And the soundtrack was not as perfectly matched as it was in the first movie. It was good, but in the first movie, it's like it was almost like the hits that they used were written for those scenes. It was perfect. So, yeah, absolutely go see it. I saw it in like an IMAX format yesterday. It was an extreme format. I loved it. I won't see it a second time in the movie theater. I think I like Guardians a smidge more. I think that was an 8.5 in my book.
Cool.
But you're in the same ballpark.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I'll probably see it sometime this week in the evening when there's not a lot of people there.
Yeah, so anybody who has not seen this movie and doesn't know anything about it, I will give one thing that people need to know. It's not a spoiler, but this movie kind of plays like Infinity War Endgame. Okay, this movie ends kind of like on a cliffhanger, which has to be finished in the next film.
Got it.
So I've heard a lot of people who didn't know that booed at the end of the movie. I'm like, all right, you really need to know that, and it doesn't spoil anything. And honestly, they cliffhangered it perfectly. I love the way they did it.
Cool.
Yeah, because it was a build-up at the end. You're like, is this the cliffhanger? Oh, is this the cliffhanger? So, yeah. All right, so let's hit this list, shall we, sir?
Let's do it. Number 1, 10.
10. Amazing Spider-Man. Number, I don't have my glasses, 78?
Yeah, Prowler.
The Night of the Prowler. Is this the first appearance of the Prowler?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, this is blowing up because of the movie.
Hobie Brown apparently was the first Prowler.
Yes, that is correct.
But the Prowler everybody knows is Miles's uncle, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
But I can understand why this is blowing up. But let's wait at least until the movie leaves the movie theater for a couple months. You're not waiting years to get the next movie. I think that's coming out in like 9 months.
Oh, well, that's a change.
Right, so there's going to be a window where this goes down, and then the trailer is going to come out with the next movie. Also, a little side note about the Across the Spider-Verse, there's no end credit scenes.
Ah.
Okay, so don't sit there waiting for 20 minutes. This movie is going to come out of the movie theaters, go into live streaming, die down a little bit, and then I think the trailer for the next movie is going to hit. I think there's going to be a window where you're going to be able to get this for a less of a price. What kind of prices are we looking at anyway?
So I'm looking at it here. An 8, the biggest, there's 2 cliffs. Mm-hmm. There's 9.4 up to 9.8, which is 1,600 to 5,000. But when you go from a 9.4 to 9.2, you drop 50% to 700.
This is a Silver Age, late Silver Age.
Yeah.
Spider-Man. It's a 15-cent book. But anything in the top 100 is still a great book to get in Amazing Spider-Man. And this is the Prowler's first appearance, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't start looking this up. Can you see anything like in the 8.0 range?
Yeah. So
7.0
so
inch.
what I was going to say is, after that step there, it's 9.2 and 9.0 kind of same, around $700. Well, then you get to an 8.5 for just under $500. And then at an 8.0, you're around just under 400. And then you start talking my game around 7.5 and 275.
I think have any of those sales been in the last couple of days?
The
Bear in mind, this movie came out on Friday, Thursday midnight.
yeah, so a 7.0 sold for 200 on the 4th yesterday.
All right.
7.0 for that book for 200 is
That's not bad at all.
Spider-Man
Yeah.
under 100.
First appearance character.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not bad. That's not terrible. I mean, it's not going to go. It's going to be a very narrow window for where it's going to drop down before it goes back up again.
Yeah.
And I would imagine that after the third film, it's going to drop completely. But if you're looking to try to flip, might not be a bad idea to try to get this.
Yeah, 6.5 is it's just sold on the first for 188.
I'd get the 7.
6.0 sold for 160. 5.5 sold for 130. This seems to be like one of those books where if you look, you'll find a deal, especially as you let the time go on a month or two or something like that.
I would definitely look for a deal on this one if you can.
Yeah.
Moving up to number 9.
Number 9. Spectacular Spider-Man 98. First Spot.
This character played a bigger role than I expected in the movie.
Okay.
I don't want to get it, but that's why it's going up. It's one of the hot books. He was well utilized.
Okay.
Okay, and he, I believe, should also be in the next movie as well. So the same applies from the Prowler to the Spots.
Only difference is this is from 1985.
Yes.
But it's kind of an iconic cover at this point, I think, with the Kingpin and Black Cat and Spidey. And honestly, this is lower than I thought. 9.8 sold for 278 on the 4th yesterday.
The Peter Parker Spectacular Spider-Man, for some reason, have always been like the stepchild.
Yeah,
of the
redhead
Spider-Man
stepchild.
books.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's part of the family, but he's not. He sleeps underneath the stairs. Anyway.
So let me ask you this. It started off as reprints, right? Of previous stories?
I believe so,
like
yeah.
number 1
like
was the reprint of the
Tarantula.
Tarantula and stuff?
Yeah.
But did it quickly move on to its just own narrative?
I don't know how quickly, but yes. But I mean, even X-Men were reprinting their own books from like 53 to 93 or something like that. They just reprinted books.
Oh, all right. Well. This book is mad affordable, though. Jeez. 9.6 sold for 108 on the 3rd.
Yeah, I wouldn't go lower than a 9.6 though.
No, not with these prices. Jeez.
Yeah, plus I think there's a ton of them.
Now, if you get yourself a Canadian or Mark Jewelers, that's a different story. Those are way more. Those have the little purple diamond icon, meaning that they're a rare variant.
Find.
Yeah.
I think I would probably try to get the Canadian price variants because everybody knows them are to Mark Jewelers, and I think the Canadian price variant has room to expand later on in life. As people, it's kind of like a few years ago they were like, "Oh wow, so newsstand is worth more." Okay, I get it.
You're saying it's going to be the next
Rare book, like, "Oh wow, that's a Mark Jewelers. Oh, that's a
Yeah.
Canadian price variant."
Yeah.
So, but I've been saying that for 2 years and it hasn't caught on yet. So what do I know? But yeah, it's definitely a good book of the two, but also for the same reasons and potential grab. I think is number 10. Yeah, it's decent.
Yeah.
Number 8,
Boom.
Marvel's Superhero Secret Wars number 7. 7? Why 7?
Julia Carpenter, first appearance. Spider-Woman, number 2.
But why Julia Carpenter?
Spider-Verse? I don't know.
Again, spoilers.
Julia Carpenter is in the Iron Man animated series that I'm watching.
Okay. Look, if anybody's seen the trailer, they know that you're getting a Spider-Woman character from the trailer. She's riding a motorcycle. She announces her name is Jessica Drew. What?
Spoiler.
Not really. It's because at this point, even if you haven't seen the movie, it's you got to know before you spend the money on the books.
Yeah.
I don't want people going out saying, "Oh, I'm going to get the Secret Wars because I know that she's going to be in it." And
I'll put spoilers in the potential spoilers in the parentheses on the title. And I don't care personally for the movie. I mean, I want to see the movie. I don't care about the spoilers for the movie. Is what I mean.
But I mean, if anybody has seen the trailer, though, they know we were getting a Spider-Woman. People have been talking about it since the first trailer dropped.
Definitely.
But the only thing that we were like, which Spider-Woman is it? Well, if we're getting to the point where we are investing in books, I think people have a right to know which one they would invest in.
Yeah.
Especially when you get up to number 6.
But real quick, a 9.8 of this sold on yesterday for $255. A 9.6 sold for $90 yesterday.
I love the original Secret Wars run, but I remember these. They printed a ton of these things. And bear in mind, number 1, number 8 are key issues. Number 11 is really iconic with that Dr. Doom on the front. This is about the time period where everybody that collected comic books was discovering backing boards and good quality bags.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of the first 12 series. And the Secret Wars that we're going to get in the MCU is not this Secret Wars. So long term, I don't think this is a great book to invest in. It's one of those up and down books, but this is definitely the wrong time.
Yeah. Number
777.
World Tree, number 1, second print, Peach Momoko, thank you, Virgin 1 per store variant.
Did they give them to the stores or did they sell them to the stores?
I don't know, but it's a thank you variant, whatever the heck that means.
Well, I mean, like Stray Dogs had that thank you, which was like all the covers in one book.
Oh,
and that was I bought that book. I think I paid $100 for it raw, and right now it's like $95 for a 9.8. So,
oh wow.
the thank you 1 per stores. People are like, oh, there's only 1 per store. There's like 2,500 stores nationwide. So what does a 1 in 2,500 print go for? Plus, everybody's getting a little tired of Momoko. So
This one's unique though. I mean, it's different than most of hers, in my opinion. I mean, I can tell it's her, but I'm going to give her credit for changing it up a little bit.
There's more of a background. It's watercolor, but it's more of a background. I see it.
Mm-hmm.
If there weren't the recalled issue with the printing problem, which is already considered to be the hot variant of number 1, how many times do we get a hot variant of number 1 that both of them hold multiple hot variants where both hold value?
I don't know. Hard to say, but
yeah.
At least this book has the story going for it. So,
but $150 for the raw. I don't see this being more than $25 in 6 months. I think the Stray Dogs one that they had, the cover one, that's going for about $20.
I'm going to diverge with you on that one. I think this one's going to hold some value.
The whole $150?
No. Where are you seeing $150? I see it for $100.
I see top weekly sale, raw comic $150 on the list of the top 10. You're clicking on additional information. I'm sticking with the raw page.
I am. I think it'll hover around $100.
Okay.
And if anything happens with this, and like optioning or anything, that all bets are off.
Yeah, a Stray Dog never turned into a show or anything, so we were all hoping it would, but it didn't.
That's true. It did get optioned, but nothing's happened. So
Yeah.
when it gets optioned, if this does, it'll heat up. But if nothing happens, then we'll be in Stray Dogs territory.
Yes.
Number
six.
6.
Spider-Woman, number 1. Which is not their first appearance. That's her first number 1 of her solo comic book.
Yeah.
The first appearance was Marvel Spotlight number 15, 32, 87. Hike! No.
Pink Pistol. You used to have
I
it
have it
up,
out.
but I don't see it.
Well, that's what I get for rotating.
New costume and origin of Spider-Woman Jessica Drew.
Yes. Again, this is movie related. This is a book I don't think has ever lived up to the value that it should have had. I think that this actually should have been selling for equal to what She-Hulk was selling for at its prime. I think Spider-Woman actually had less copies printed and sold. But
Well,
what's a 9.8 of a Spider-Woman number 1 going for right now?
fair market is $230.
Jeez.
The last sale was $255 yesterday. So it's kind of it might be going up here.
I hope so. I have a 9.8, and I think I paid more than that about a year and a half ago. We paid more than that for everything a year and a half.
I was going to say you don't even have to say anything.
The only thing that was more expensive, I think, was gas.
A 9.6 will run you. One just sold for $155. And then it really drops after that. 80, 70, 70, 50, 30, 40.
See, I don't know the census on this off the top of my head, but I will say that it's a 1978 comic book, Spider-Woman number 1. And if you can get a 1978 number 1 comic book for $250 ish, you really can't go wrong with that long term.
Whoa, more than I thought. There are 1571 sitting at 9.8.
Wow. That's a lot.
Yeah. 2307 at 9.6. 1407 at 9.4. 900 at 9.2. 660 at 9.0, and it trails downward.
What, 9,000 copies overall?
89.35.
That was a good guess.
Yeah, it was. But yeah, that's a shit ton, I feel like.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, at least relative to what you were saying a second ago.
Yeah. I think She-Hulk is more well-liked across the Marvel Universe, so it's kind of hard to compare one to the other. They both came out about the same time for the same reasons. But if this character does get to be more popular, it could go up quite a bit. I mean, Spider-Man number 300 has got just as many, if not more, on the census. Do I think that Spider-Woman will be as popular as Venom? No.
I just looked up Savage She-Hulk number 1 just for kicks, and there's 14,000 total.
So
with 2,500, almost 2,600 at 9.8. Ooh,
and I only have a 9.6 on that.
There's 3 9.9s. Wow,
very nice. And that book was hitting quite a bit more when she had her own show. The
build-up. Yeah,
I
remember.
So, if anything happens with Spider-Woman going solo, that could have some good potential.
I'd be curious to see how this and the Spotlight kind of jockey for what's more valuable if that happens.
Well, remember, Spotlight also has Nick Fury on the cover, and we're about to get Secret Invasion, so more Nick Fury. And if he brandishes a pink gun,
I was going to say, I really hope he's got a pink pistol. It'd be so awesome.
Oh, man, I will freak.
I know, right? All right.
Number 5 that I have 2 copies of. One I accidentally bought. I clicked the wrong button.
Frickin' UF.
Number 4. Which I only have a 9.2 and a 9.4, I think. I don't have a 9.6 or a 9.8, of course. Very expensive.
First appearance of the Maker. Fantastic Four, Richard Reed's Ultimate Universe. Also Miles Morales, whatever.
Oh,
That's like the Johnny Storm goes to college bullshit.
yeah.
I forget what book that was, but
Fantastic Four number 50.
there you go. Yeah,
Yeah.
other shoulder. All right. So, Miles Morales. This book is blue chip. It's hot as hell. 9.8 fair market, 2,100.
This was hitting over 4,000 a year and a half ago.
Can you imagine? I mean, that blows my mind that was costing that much. As much as like a Silver Age DC Origin first appearance character.
Yeah.
It's incredible to me.
And I had sorry, I just went down the wrong pipe. I got my
Get a little
Ruby Red grapefruit whiskey. Grapefruit whiskey. I had a copy of this that I sent to CBCS, and this is one of the ones that they were supposed to press and they didn't. Yeah, I know. And it came back
me too.
It came back a 7.0 because they didn't press it like I paid for, and then they refunded me the money for the pressing. I sent it to the same exact book, didn't touch it. Left it in the slab, sent it to CGC. I said, please, clean press and grade it. Came back a 9.2.
You left it in the CBCS lab?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm not even going to take the chance of cracking it. I'm like, dude, they screwed up. Can you do this right? I'll pay you.
That's true. It's a safe way to transport it, and that's one thing CBCS has got going for them is they got a pretty bulletproof slab.
So I sent them a 7.0. They sent me back a 9.2.
So you had a $380 book. Went up to a $480 book.
Believe me, at the time, back in 2021, it was more than $480.
Yeah.
And then I bought a 9.4 accidentally. Absolutely wrong time to buy this book. Absolutely a great book to have in your collection.
So right now, fair market is almost $2,200 for 9.8, $700 for a 9.6. That's quite a drop off.
Look, I just heard it's confirmed that we will be getting live action Miles Morales.
I would buy an Iron Man #1 before this, but if I was in this Miles Morales game, I would get a 9.6 and try a couple times to get it up to a 9.8.
The price difference is ridiculous.
And worth it to give it a shot.
The biggest thing that causes a decrease in value is the fact that this was in a poly bag and you get folding creases. If you got that crease, you're not getting the 9.6. So if you got a 9.6, that means you don't have the biggest problem that these books have. You have a good shot at 9.8. My friend, you have an excellent idea.
Well, and the drop isn't that terrible to a 9.4 if it, grades lower.
Mm-hmm.
So I would do that, man.
I would actually take a 9.6 and send it to CBCS to try to get a 9.8. Because it is impossible to get a 9.8 now. You're looking up like the jackalope, the snipe.
The freaking Loch Ness monster.
The chupacabra of comic books is anything that comes back as a 9.8.
The New Jersey Devil.
Ah. So, no, don't send it to CBCS. We're joking.
Yeah, don't.
But if you got this book, this is a good time to sell it and try to rebuy it back in a few months. But,
oh, man.
Yeah. Okay, so next, number 4, we have Amazing Spider-Man, number 10. I didn't look this up. I'm not familiar with this book. What's going on with this?
First appearance of Spider-Punk, Hobie Brown. Hobie Brown was also the Prowler originally? Is that interesting?
I thought Hobie was Spider-Punk. But I liked the character in the movie, but I will have to wait for it to come on streaming service, put on noise-canceling headphones, and put on the subtitles, because I could not understand a damn word he said.
So I just pulled up ASM 78. First appearance of the Prowler, Hobie Brown, in parentheses.
There are 8 billion people on the planet. There may be another Hobie Brown. I doubt it. I don't know.
Not in comics. Hobie Brown. Maybe he's Prowler in 616, and 138 he's...
Very possible. And
confusing as
When it is very, very, very possible, and when you see Across the Spider-Verse, you'll say, yes, it is very possible.
I see.
And I'm not going to spoil anything beyond that. But anybody who's seen the movie already, you know what I'm talking about, where people can be different people.
All right, so let's analyze this bitch real quick.
Look, he is kind of a fan favorite, but this character did not play as big a part as I thought he was going to, and I don't know if he's going to be playing, how much of a part he's playing in the next film.
We're looking at 200 sold yesterday, a 9.8, and a 100 for a 9.6 sold yesterday, and the rest is garbage. You don't want to mess with that.
I'm holding off for a couple of months on this one.
Oh yeah, I think so. I think it'll drop $50 or something at least.
And honestly, unless I find a super bargain, I wouldn't. This one I'm not going to sweat if it's not in my collection.
You might be able to find this in a back issues somewhere.
Very possible, but if it's not pulled out already. But yep. All right, so we have going to number 3, Rocketeer Special. Number 1, the Adam Hughes Virgin Variant 1 in 10.
This man, I swear, every face of the woman is the same.
Okay, I'm looking.
He's like Alex Ross. Every face is the same, kind of based off himself.
You know something? It looks like Katy Perry.
The haircut? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rocketeer. They're bringing... aren't they bringing a series?
It's back already. I've already seen the books for sale. And they were sitting there on the shelf. I wasn't intrigued by it.
I thought they were like...
They're redoing it as a TV show or something?
Yeah. Disney to reboot The Rocketeer. Return of Rocketeer will be a sequel to the fan favorite adventure from 91. Disney's set to revive with a new movie, bound for D+. David Oyelowo, Jack Reacher, Star Wars Rebels, Interstellar, will star, produce alongside his wife, producing partner Jessica Olawale. It's only taken Disney 30 years to realize potential, blah, blah, blah.
What potential? The movie was okay.
Yeah. Sure, we'll have an all-new creative directive with record story, farming to focus.
I mean, what's next? They're going to redo Labyrinth? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess it's coming. So maybe there's some...
Look, I don't hold much stock in the fact that it's going to be a big hit. So people buying during option news, wrong time. And I think even in the long run, meh.
I would rather spend my money on the first appearance. Anyway,
Let's move on to
if you're an Adam Hughes guy, maybe go for that.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there are a lot of people that like collecting specific artistry of people. So,
yeah.
But if it's at $30 as a top weekly sale, probably average about 20 for a 1 in 10. Again, I saw a lot of copies still at Syndicate, so of the regular issues.
I'm seeing $22, 14, 20. There's recent raw sales.
14 I'd shoot for. 22, no. Shoot for the teens. There you go. And if people say, oh, you go to a store and he's got it for 22, just say, hey, it's selling right now for as low as 14. You want to get rid of that book or not?
Yeah.
Strike a deal. Number 2. This is a new one. I've seen this before.
Spider Boy.
Spider-Man number 7, the Umberto Ramos top secret variants. This is now week number 5.
At least, yeah. Whenever it came out. April 5th.
2 months.
Yeah.
Sheesh. Well, he's got legs.
There's some real nice covers coming out for Edge of Spider-Verse 3.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And I've already pre-ordered Spider-Verse 4, so.
Cool.
Nothing specific that I know about it. It's just that I want to continue going. It's a good storyline.
So this is hovering. It's keeping pace at 120 for a 9.8.
All right, so it has dropped it's stabilized at its drop.
Yeah.
There may be renewed interest when Edge of Spider-Verse 3 drops and he's in another book, especially when he's on a cover of one of the other books. So there might be a little spike. If you can, this would probably be, if you've been holding off, this is your chance to get it.
Yeah, I don't think you should hold off very much longer or at all.
So I think that once Spider-Verse 3 drops and you get those readers also interested, they might like this character even more as much, and you never know what's going to happen. Coming in at number 1, Spider-Man 2099, number 1, from 1992.
First solo title of 2099.
Yes. Now, this is because of the character that is in Across the Spider-Verse.
Mm-hmm.
I like this character in Across the Spider-Verse much more than I thought I was going to. It's a much deeper character than I thought it was going to be. I don't want to give any spoilers. It's a major character in this movie and in the next, and that's it. That's all I'm going to say. I think that this character may be a good investment, and I've got a copy of this somewhere around here that I got not that long ago, and I'm been waiting to send it in. Maybe I should have done it already. What do we got as far as recent sales over the last couple of days?
A 9.8 sold yesterday for 163.
But
the fair market is 150, so that means it's going up.
Yeah, and there are 9.9s.
2,300 sold in February of 2022.
163. 9.6 sold for 67. There's a lot of these. So
yeah, this was 90s, so this is when they were just like,
yeah, you get a comic and you get a comic and you get a comic.
But same token, it's got that foil that's really persnickety, as my father-in-law would say.
Yep, but that foil is also the only reason why that book was granted 9.9s. Because, regular comics don't get them. I would be looking for a 9.8 in this book. Go the extra bit on that. Stay away from the 9.6s. Definitely don't want to buy a 6.5 for $35. What the heck were they thinking? An 8.0 sold for $12. If you just want to read the book, just get it in a raw. But if you can get yourself a 9.8 for not expensive, like in the next couple of days, great. Otherwise, wait a couple of months. It'll come back down a little bit, and it'll in a dip between movies.
I'm seeing a 9.8 CBCS for 150.
Ooh, that's a rare one. But that was before their grading went to crap. That
Yeah.
was when they were handing out 9.8s to everybody.
But the shipping is $20, so I think you can find a deal.
I mean, and it's Oscar Isaac who plays him too.
Yeah, which we love him.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, I would let it cool off a little bit. See if you can.
There are a ton of these. So
Yeah.
it's still though it's a book that, especially with the third movie, will have value. I don't want to get into how big or small or roles of these characters, but
You can tell by where it is on the list.
exactly. There are other characters that, my
Are they
character that
accurately?
did not have a big role that I wanted him to have a big role. Spider-Rex. In, out, that was it. It's gone.
He's got a toy I saw at Walmart.
I have to go shopping after this. Me on my donut driving down the highway. Okay. All right, so let's go for our gun to the head. What are we going to pick?
Oh, lordy. All right, I think it's my turn to go first.
I'm not going to argue that because I'm still trying to figure it out.
I'm torn between two,
So am I.
and they're spider books. Surprise! Let's see, 1, 2,
So am I.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7 explicit Spider-Man or Spider-Man adjacent books are on this list. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Spider-Woman number 198. I think $200 for a 9.8 from 1978 is a baller deal.
Now, one thing I will tell you or anybody else who's looking at buying that, my 9.8 is an off-white. Just remember, you can still get off-whites on a 9.8. So if you're looking for that white book, make sure that you read that on the comic book when you're buying it. Or eBay, buying it off of eBay or whatever.
That's true. Yeah, I don't know. I like that.
What was your other book?
2099, 9.8.
Okay, so the two that you were picking were not one of the two that I'm trying to decide on.
Oh, okay.
That's cool.
That is cool.
Now, bear in mind, I've seen the movie, so I know more about what I think
is going to
have. Yeah, I love the 2099. I do, but I have one I got to send off, so I wouldn't be going after that. I'd be going after one or two books that I don't have. It's either Spectacular Spider-Man number 98, first appearance of the Spot, or Amazing Spider-Man number 78, first appearance of the Prowler. I'm falling more and more in love with Silver Age books. I'm going Amazing Spider-Man number 78, and I would be shooting for something around a 7.5. I think that's a good money
200
ratio. Yeah, a good money ratio for a Silver Age Spider-Man book.
I'm sorry, 275.
Okay.
270.
I'll pay the 200 and I'll bill you the 75 for false information. No.
Spectacular 98 is a great call too. 9.6 for 110.
Yeah. I mean, there's actually a couple of good gun to your heads on this list.
Yeah.
If you can still get them at these prices.
Usually we're like, I don't know which one we want.
Right.
But this time we're like, there's a few here we would pick.
I mean, they did $120 million in box office sales over the weekend. A lot of people are going to be starting to look for these books. People see this list. These prices, you're already not going to get these prices. But if you can, I would, those are our 4 picks for gun to the head. Apparently there's 2 guns, one,
each ear.
At each of our 4 guns total.
Right. Anyway, I think there's a raw Spider-Man 2099 in the pool box that I got.
Ooh.
It's not in great condition. There are ticks, but it's in there. So.
Oh, cool. I mean, even for nothing else, it's still something you can read.
It's true.
So, all right. So, guys, have you seen the movie? Do you think that these books are going to go up, down? Do you agree with what we're saying about the books? What's your gun to your head pick? Got to know that too, And is anybody really going out and looking for that Rocketeer?
All right. So, I believe tentatively this Saturday is going to be our first pull box session.
Yes.
For the Patreon. Patreon.com/Team Ohana. Every month we're going to have a session where we get together and you tell me the number from the front or the back and I pull the comic out and ship it to you in a Gemini mailer free for being a patron as a thank you. We also have 1 spot left. Is it?
Is it 1? I guess, maybe. But the next...
Limited.
At least 1 spot.
Limited availability left for the awesome Stinker Buns provided promo that we've got going, including that 1 in 100 black and white there of Vanish number 1's foil, a bunch of ratio variants, and
1 in 50s, 1 in 25s. Bottom line is, it's $3 a month to join our Patreon. The first 7 people for this it's so
every
cheap.
time I hear it, I'm like, damn.
And we're giving away books and paying for shipping. I don't get this.
I know.
Okay. So the first 7 people that join during this promotion, I'm going to take all 7 of these books, the Vanish number 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 in 100, 1 in 50, a couple of 1 in 25s, the foil variants, and put them into Gemini mailers. I remember Gemini mailers.
Yeah, boy.
Seal them up, mix them up, and then randomly pick the 7 people that qualify for this after they pass 45 days of membership. and pay for the shipping and mail them off to them. At the same time, if you join now, you will be there this Saturday for Greg's Patreon poll box, which is poll Greg's pee-pee.
Yes.
Every Patreon member that tunes in during our private Patreon live stream will get to pick books out of his poll box. And he's going to send them off to you. It's just our way of, again, losing money because we don't care. We just want to, look, that's the rare upside down variants. Whoa, I love those.
That's how CGC ends up with them upside down.
Yes, upside down, that'd be Roth.
All kinds of fun stuff.
Oh, that was the Reggie book, Isolation.
Yep. Super Skrull appearance. Whatever this
Action.
I don't know what this is.
That's the Action Comic homage. Yeah, okay.
Cool Venom. First Kane, or whatever you want to call him. Scarlet
Spider. Bloodsport. Jeez. Yeah, and granted, that's not all the books. It's going to be a full short box, and you're going to pick one. There's going to be some other books in there that are not super keys.
Yes.
But still, they're free books, and we're going to mail them to you.
Yes, like, for example, here's one.
X-Force Kill Shot.
Number 1.
So, again, you leave it in the bathroom. You have something to read.
Yeah.
It costs you nothing other than the $3 a month, which it's less than the cost of a gallon of gasoline these days.
It's less than the cost of a number 1 that's cover price.
Yeah,
Those $4.
and again, we're just trying to grow the community, have some fun. Yeah. Join the rest of us. We all get together, talk comic books, talk about our lives, whatever you feel like talking about. Talk about flat tires that might have happened on the way home. Who knows?
I got a new book.
Guys, thanks so much for joining us. Don't forget to check us out on Patreon, as we were mentioning, Instagram, Team Ohana Family, our podcast for the Back Issue Book Club here on YouTube. Of course, don't forget to click like, subscribe, and click on those notifications so you know when more videos are dropping. I'm really getting into the karate mode here.
It's good.
But until we see you in the next video, mahalo.